Okay, pressure points. It's something that you mainly use in team. It's not something you do a lot in solo queue, but you can also do the very basics of pressure points in solo queue. Pressure points are meant to set the enemy on the back foot. It's meant to set the enemy on a reactionary play. It's meant to force them to play your game basically. So when you think about pressure points, it's important to understand what it actually means, of course, just fundamentally, and then use it situationally to the game that you're going to be playing. But I will explain it in a very basic way, and then obviously think of it in a situational way, where at the next time you will see this, you will understand it depending on the situation you're in. So a standard pressure point is, for example, mid push into rotating into jungle, like maybe Drake, and then placing some vision. It could be a green ward here, maybe here, green ward here, and then a pink ward here. So what are pressure points used for? They're used for you to get something. They're used for you to always be in control and for the enemy to react to your control. So in a situation where you want the Drake, for example, right? If you want the Drake and you don't set up waves in mid or bot, maybe even top for that matter, but mid and bot mainly. If you don't set up waves, the enemies can obviously just react. They can just go in and they can fight you, and they're not losing anything on the others, like on the other end. They can just walk in for free. But what you want is for them to lose something. So if you set up a push in bots, maybe you set up a slow push, you slow push one wave and then you crash the second wave, then you have a pressure point. If you crash the first wave and you are first on tempo, tempo will be explained in another video, and you move in, then you have two pressure points. You have one on mid, you have one on bots, so you have two pressure points. While you also want the Drake, obviously, that's a pressure point as well. So you have three pressure points on the map. Why are they pressure points? So if you have a wave, right? If you have a wave in mid lane, then the enemy has to take it. If they don't take it, then they lose XP and they lose gold, right? And if you continuously lose XP and gold, then you fall behind. So what you want to do when you go for the Drake, a standard pressure point is just mid lane, right? But in competitive play, you want more pressure points. It can also be a top laner pushing down into enemy inhib, forcing them to react, because we have a pressure point on top lane. If they don't react to it, he will take the base. If they react to it, we get the Drake. So it's a win-win situation. You have to understand what pressure points you have on the map and why you have them in the first place in team. In solo queue, just the basics are fine. So a very standard way of setting up the Drake is we slow push bot lane. First Drake, let's say called first Drake. We slow push bot lane. Depending on the situation, we slow push 1, we slow push 2, and we crash 3. Because if we don't start the Drake, enemy bot lane, if they choose to move, they will lose a huge wave. A huge wave. And if they choose to move, we just play really slow. We play really slow. We irritate them. And if they choose to move and fight, we don't fight. We just walk back where we came from. And we slow push again because they just lost 3 waves of XP and gold. So you can do this all the time, right? You can essentially just play with this, and then if they lose 3 waves, that's a huge amount of gold and XP that they've lost, right? So a standard slow push or standard pressure point or standard way to set up the Drake would be you push mid, you push bot, slow push bot, maybe even slow push mid, but mainly just hard shove mid, slow push bot. Now you have 2 pressure points. While we have these pressure points, the Drake is ours. Or we can use it to set up vision so that they now have to walk into fog of war, and then we go back and we get the pressure points again in top and or not in top, in mid and bot. So that's what pressure points are, and they are really important to know for you to understand the basics of the game.